operating and functioning okay. If you're here, welcome. If not, well, you should be here because it's wicked awesome cool. So here we go.
Hey, Carney, Canadians are really struggling now with groceries, housing, mental health.
East food bank. Look at all these cars.
Rent in Toronto is so ridiculous and obscene right now that
these politicians are going to sit there and they're going to use more money of taxpayers.
It's too much. The wages are staying the same. I can't afford to move out.
But I mentioned we have a 6-week.
This is crazy. I bet there's more people across the world that feel the exact same as these people here. You should definitely let me know what the food prices are in your area in the comments down there, or send me the prices by photo on my Facebook.
$1 billion deficit. We are struggling to get by each month.
We are in a crisis. Across Canada, hardworking families are doing everything right, working full-time, paying their taxes, and trying to build a better future. But despite all of that, more and more Canadians are falling behind. Rent is skyrocketing, home prices are out of reach, grocery bills keep climbing, and wages are not keeping up. For many families, the dream of owning a home, raising children, and living comfortably is slipping further away. Parents are cutting back on food. Young couples are delaying starting a family. Seniors are worried about how they will make ends meet. The question is...
So I believe that's exactly what happens when big corporations start taking control of government operations and stop giving a fuck about the common person. So governments are supposed to work for the people, correct? They're voted in by the people. They're supposed to benefit and, help the regular people get along in this fucking cruel world. But at some point they switched and started doing big corporation shit like this. So at what point do the people say enough's enough and fuck you guys? After we're all dead, or before you guys run away to your bunkers and try to nuke us all and implement robots? Let's see.
No longer whether life in Canada is getting harder. The question is, how much more can families take? In today's video, we'll hear real stories from Canadians who are feeling the pressure every single day. This is Canadian Rant. And this is the reality of life in Canada today.
Sponge towels have thousands of ultra-absorbent sponge pockets in every pack, so they look like a paper towel and absorb like a sponge. Sponge towels. Nothing absorbs like it.
Answer the call. Volunteer with Ontario Corps.
fish oil. I've seen it all now. I've seen the share the bed. Someone paid $550 to share not just bedroom, to share a king size bed for rent. Like they nothing. Like complete strangers.
Well, if you think about it logically, and if we're already sold out to China, right? If you just look at China, right? How many houses over there like the size of like a cardboard box and shit? No offense, I'm 6'4" and like 250 pounds. No, I'm joking. I'm only like 200 pounds. But there's no fucking way you're sleeping with me in a fucking cardboard box and calling that a house. Especially not with my 2 kids and my wife. My wife and I might like it, but the 2 kids definitely won't fucking like living in a cardboard box and calling that a home. So, let's just carry on and see what's Gucci.
Like, you get one side, I get the other, let's split the rent for this room. I thought the bunk beds was bad. I've heard it all, like, this is insane.
So I live in Ontario, and I need someone to tell me the pros and cons of living in America. Because at this point, Canada just ain't it. It's just like not it anymore. Like the cost of living, it's too much. The wages are staying.
So, the pros and cons of living in America versus Canada, in my opinion, there aren't very many. Either way you shake it, there's still a government that's pushing you to do work and call it fucking work, as opposed to what it actually is, which is slave labor. Right? They're giving you fucking pennies you can barely afford to fucking eat, and then what? You can't fucking eat, you can't afford to go back to work, so what? You're just supposed to sit in your fucking little cardboard box and die? I wish the fucking government would just come out and be like, there's a bigger plan. We have a bigger plan after you guys all die. At least we'll all know at that fucking point. But anyhow, back to this lady.
Thing. I can't afford to move out. I'm 24, and I'm embarrassed that I can't move out. I can't leave my toxic household. So what am I supposed to do? Where am I supposed to go? What are the pros and cons of living in America? And everyone's like, oh, Canada's so great, this and that. It's not anymore. Free healthcare. You know how long it takes to see a mental health professional in Canada? A year. Dermatologist? A year. I might as well pay for private healthcare. The wait list is so long. Like, you don't even get...
A wait list for a mental health worker is a year? That's pretty freaking good. I've been on a 10-year wait list to get into a doctor. 10 years. That's fucking... And you're gonna go see a mental health worker in a year? That's outstanding. Maybe they should implement more doctors in the private professions so they can deal with like the communities, as opposed to mental health workers. Pushing those on everybody just so they can get them on the MAID program and steal their organs and then feed them to other people. But anyhow, let's carry on and see what this lady says.
The adequate help that you need. So where do we go at this point? Where are we supposed to live? Where can I live in a place where I'm able to enjoy my life as well? Because I'm not enjoying it here. I feel so utterly stuck. I don't know what to do anymore. You go to school, you get a degree.
So to be completely freaking honest with you, you should be able to live anywhere on earth and have like an okay life and not have to work yourself to death, you know, and have a family and carry on about your life like you want to do, right? Without having to fucking provide so much time and shit to the government. You're right. But I don't think such place exists in our world today. But let's see.
And you're still not guaranteed a job. $60K a year? That used to be like a decent amount of money. Not anymore. So where do we go? What are the pros and cons of living in America? Because I need to get out of here.
Did I mention we have a 60...
So the statistics on how many people actually make it to a post-secondary education are actually very slim here in Canada, right? Because everyone actually has to go to work after they're done high school so that they can move out on their own and live without parents and so on and so forth. So this dream that you could, you know, move out of your families after college and, you know, work your way through college and so on and so forth is just impossible. I don't think it'll ever get back to the old ways where you know, stayed with your parents till you went off to school and then you got a job after you finished college. And no, those days are gone. You got to work your ass off for the system, and then you're definitely not making $60K a year. Absolutely not. But let's see what this little fart's got to say.
$1 billion deficit. We are struggling to get by each month, and let's throw $3.7 billion at some conservation climate programs and save the whales. We're also spending a lot of money on international climate funding. We're not just going to solve our climate issue, we're going to solve the world's climate issues. So, again, all great things if you have money, but we don't have money. So the national debt.
So, yeah, this guy wants to take out conservation funding. That's kind of some bullshit because those people of Canada don't really have a voice for themselves, right? So, like, even if they wanted to, they couldn't go to Parliament and be like, yo, listen here, motherfuckers. We don't like the fact that you're taking out our rights as whales. No, they can't do that. Okay? But as well as taking out the rights to endangered species and all that other such, they're also violating human rights. But that's just the bare minimum of what they're doing. There's multiple other ways they could deal with this financial problem. But they'll just keep upping the taxes until the common people or the minimum to low income people die off. And then they'll implement robots in those positions of work and such. Anyhow, let's see what he's got to say now.
Is about $1.4 trillion.
You feel that Canada is going into economic downfall?
Oh yes. Everything is so expensive. If it wasn't for subsidies, there's no way I could live here. I'd have to
Really?
get back to family.
Yeah, I read something that said over 2 million people were on food stamps here. Or going to food banks.
Yeah, food banks, yeah.
And why do you think that's happened where it became almost impossible to live here inside Canada? I don't know.
Well, because honestly, the grocery stores don't really want to sell the food to people who can't afford it. So the food banks get the expired food or the food that can sit on the shelf longer so that the low-income families or the middle to low-income families are able to eat as well with expired food. That probably won't kill us, but it all comes from the same corporations that sponsor the grocery stores. So it all leads back to the big corporations on that aspect. It's all about the money. Or else they could give away free groceries at the grocery store. Anyhow.
Trust. Reliability.
Oh, what a
integrity.
great commercial.
These are the values Canadians are known for.
Yep.
Hanwha is committed to turning those values into action.
That sounds
through new
Chinese.
partnerships, new jobs. and
Oh
a
wait, that's
focus on
because it
Canada's
is. This
security
company works
and
directly
economic
with Mark
prosperity.
Carney's company.
Because we believe that our
Money,
shared values
all about that
can
money.
support a stronger Canada.
Prices of everything are skyrocketing. Mortgages, interest rates.
For somebody that doesn't understand how bad it is here, how bad is the situation as far as like being able to buy groceries for your rent?
Rent alone is like a minimum of $2,500 for a one bedroom. We have a one bedroom and we pay $2,550.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm a single mom, and then she has special needs, so how can I afford that?
Single mom paying $2,500 for a fucking single bedroom. How the fuck is that supposed to work? Even with the benefits to send her special need child to the proper daycare center, right? She still has to fork out money for rent, groceries, and other such. It's just not fucking plausible anymore. Come on, Canada. We need to fucking step up or some shit. Let's go.
Well, how do you afford that?
Government help. If it wasn't for that, there's no way I could afford anything.
Wow. How much are wages here? Like, what's the minimum wage here?
20, I don't know actually.
Really? And recently Donald Trump's been asking and been saying that Canada might become the 51st state. Do you think that'd be a good thing for Canada to join part of the United States?
No.
Yeah.
So London, Ontario just hit one of the scariest risk addiction factors.
So here's my thing about moving to the United States. I don't think it matters on where we are. If the corporations have a hold of the government, we're already fuckered. Is that wrong to say? If they're in there, they weaseled their way in there by manipulating votes and financially backing certain companies that are going to benefit their needs. Does that not... it doesn't matter at that point, right? And then the only legal thing we're allowed to do is protest, but we have to go to work. or else we won't afford to eat. Because the food banks are starting to run up dry too. So, who the fuck actually knows what's going to go on here?
That nobody talks about. Unemployment. We're now sitting at a 9.2% unemployment rate, which is the highest among large cities in all of Canada. And the region lost 1,800 jobs alone.
So, we technically are sitting at the lowest unemployment rate worldwide. Why in the fuck are we hiring foreign workers? Does that make sense to anyone? Or just Mark Carney? Or maybe I'm just a fucking weirdo who doesn't think that any of this is fucking real. But let's just see.
Just in April. No, that does not mean unemployment rate directly causes addiction rate by itself. But job loss can create the exact conditions addiction feeds on: stress, isolation, shame, financial pressure.
This guy's got a point. Yeah, you're directly affecting Canadians' mental health by doing all this stuff and making it so we can't afford anything. It's like no matter what we do, we can't get ahead because we're always fucking losing and losing and losing. So when's this fucking experiment going to be over and things are going to go back to the way the fuck they're supposed to be? Because this is some horse shit, man. Like I said, if you're trying to get more people on this MAID program so you can fucking donate our organs to fucking meat packing plants because we're almost fucking dying from overpopulation and food shortages, then maybe you should supply the small person that's came to you multiple times with an off-grid farming idea. But let's see what this guy's got to say.
Unstable housing, loss of routine, and hopelessness. Here's the part that people miss. Economic pain shows up in overdose data. One major study found that for every 1 point increase in unemployment was linked to a 3.6% in opioid overdose deaths and a 7% increase in opioid-related ER visits. And in Middlesex, London, Ontario, even after recent declines, we still had 491 poisoning ER visits due to opioids and over 70 opioid-related overdose deaths in 2024. So when a city loses work, it's not just a job story. It's a mental health story. It's a housing story. And whether people want to admit it or not, it's an addiction story.
When was the last time you sat down and asked yourself?
Yep. It's for sure, definitely all of that. Because one thing leads to the other. It's like a domino effect, right? And the government's been doing it to cities and other such places across the world for long periods of time just to divide certain classes of people, right? But we keep blaming the other people and it's their problem, or it's the big new franchise store that's coming in's problem. Well, it's all of that, really, right? Because we're all working for the system at the end of the day, and no matter what, we have to, or else we're kind of SOL. So let's see what this guy's got to say.
Is Canada still actually working for our family? This video right here does a better job than I can of summing up what millions of Canadians are feeling right now.
In bondage. I'm so sick of it. And freedom for me means an escape from living like this, where you have the illusion of success and all you do is not enjoy life.
That's it.
When you live here, June and July before you kind of see, like, the sun comes up.
Yeah, this lady's got a point. We have all this beautiful fucking land around us and all these beautiful different cultures around us, but we can't explore or investigate or even appreciate a different culture or the beauty of Canada because we're all stuck at fucking work, and by the time we're done at work, we want to come home and just sleep on our fucking couches. We don't even want to talk to our families at that point because we're just so exhausted from going to work all the time. It's kind of fucked up, really. But let's continue.
And you're warm, and you only have a few months before you're back to it. I'm sick of it.
Back to winter.
So I'm not telling you, Jimmy, and I'm not telling anybody, but they always mistake when you complain. And for those of you who are going to come and say, why don't you leave? I'd love to, and sometimes it's not that easy. When you get to my age, and you put in so much time, and you work hard to achieve certain things, and when you see it slipping through your hand, if you don't stay on the plantation, it is very scary. So you end up staying longer than you should. I'm sick of this life. Canada is not the place it used to be. Canada, in
So, I believe this lady said plantation. I remember a place in history that they used plantations as well. But they didn't call it work. I believe the word they used was slaves. So, I'm sorry, lady, that you're a slave in the modern era. Every Canadian and every person on earth should have freedoms, and this is just sad. Anyhow.
To the space, you know, and before you know it, people who have been here paying taxes for decades are left in the side, even though they have worked hard. And people who never contributed nothing, they come here, you know, bring them, take the jobs from the people who are already here for decades and paying taxes. And now, you know, I feel sorry for myself and I feel sorry for all the other people who have done all the work and now should be benefiting. Brampton right now has the most people losing their homes. People who work sometimes 2 or 3 jobs. People work everything to hold on to.